Hello everybody, Tiffany Solorio here for Create with Prima. Today I'm going to be creating a altered embroidery hoop and I am using the Amber Moon collection, super gorgeous collection. I created two. The first one on the left that says thankful I did first, and then I actually ended up deleting the videos on my SD card, so I had to redo the video. But I'm okay with that. I love having both of them. They are pretty similar. The only difference is I used in the first one, I used some resin leaves from Prima and then a couple other little embellishments, but for the most part, the same techniques, same process, and everything like that. So I will list all of the supplies used on both embroidery hoops down below. And what I'm doing first is I have a sheet of 12 by 12 paper from the paper pack, not the single sheets. The single sheets will have the foil on them, and this is just from the collection or the paper pack. And I added a coat of clear gesso just as a base, and then lightly brushing on some white gesso. And then I'm going to take some light paste and this doily stencil from Prima and add a little bit of texture to the upper left hand corner of the paper. I am going to trace out the embroidery hoop once it's all dry, and then that way I can have the paper in the back of the embroidery hoop. And I'm not adding the light paste to the whole stencil because I know that on the left side I'm going to be adding a lot of different flowers and embellishments and things like that, so I felt it was a little bit of a waste if I did the whole stencil. I am just lightly brushing down just to smooth out some of the areas, and then I am going to paint the embroidery hoop with white gesso, and I think I did 2 coats of the white gesso. That way I can have a nice base, and I didn't add any color or anything to it, but I wanted my project to be on the lighter side and to tone down the oranges and the browns in the collection and the paper. So that's why I am painting it white. You definitely can add color to yours if you want to. I am now adding some crackle paste. I am adding the white crackle paste, and if you want to add clear crackle paste, or there is copper crackle paste too, so you have those options. And now I'm just taking the paper that I added all of the paste to, tracing it out, and then I will cut out the circles so that I can add it to the embroidery hoop. And I think this is probably one of my favorite papers, the front and the back. I really like the back side that I'm using. Well, the front side actually here, as you could see here, I really like this paper because it's like grungy and distressed, and it's just a really good base paper to have, I think, if you're doing any type of mixed media project. Alright, so I cut it out, added it to the embroidery hoop. Now I added a little bit of white gesso, and then I'm adding a little bit more of the white crackle paste. That way everything flows together and everything just kind of blends all nicely together. Alright, so I'm adding a little bit of water, and then I'm going to be adding a little bit of antique gold color bloom spray. And I take it, I unscrew the nozzle, and then I'm just kind of splattering it on there. And because I added the water, it'll just kind of spread around where it wants to. And also because I added the gesso, it's not going to seep into the paper. It's going to kind of sit on top, and that way I can kind of dab off a little bit here and there where I don't want as much. So I have the 4x6, 4x3, 3x4, the note cards from the collection, and I just kind of tore a couple of them, and I'm going to be placing them on top of the cheesecloth, and I am just adding the cheesecloth now with some Fabri-Tac. I love Fabri-Tac glue for paper, fabric, resin, metal, all types of things when I'm creating. So I am layering 2 of the papers together, and I added a little bit of foam to the top one. That way it can have a little bit of dimension and a little bit more interest to the project. And I cut out some of these leaves with the Prima dies. Love these leaves. They're so intricate and pretty. And I just used some scrap paper that I had from the collection. And I'm just going to place them here and there. And I used my Big Shot to cut them out. And then I have this really cool Spellbinders tool. And I've showed it in past videos. It's an all-in, I think it's called all-in-one, and it has like a bristle on it. You can run over your die and then it gets all those little pieces out. It helps a lot, especially with these intricate dies. So I'm just going to place the embellishments onto the embroidery hoop. I'm going to play some music and I will be back shortly. All of the embellishments are down and I like everything where it is. So I'm taking the planner glue pen from Prima. I love this thing, especially for this technique. I'm just adding the glue here and there and it's already tacky, so I don't have to wait too long to put the foil down, and this is a Prima foil. And again, I will have a list of all of the supplies down below, so if you're wondering which supplies I used, be sure to check that out. And then to finish it off, I am adding some splatters with some watered down gesso. Just feel this ties everything together. And then I did dry brush on some gesso onto the flowers a little bit just to kind of tie everything together. And that is going to complete this project. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, share it on social media. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys again for watching. I will catch you guys later. Bye.